And welcome to the fourth video in this series, most important sets to is DILR in CAT 2021. In every video, we have been taking one typical type of set and looking at what is the decision making criteria, whether or not to solve that question. And if you decide to solve that question, how to go about the solution of that. For this particular video, I have chosen a set from data interpretation. This is purely DI. This doesn't involve a lot of logic to be cracked as such. In the first three videos, we have chosen sets of set theory, caselet, and the arrangement set. That was the third one. Today, I have taken a pure DI set. This is the kind of set that gave chills to a lot of students when it appeared in CAT 2019. Yes, I'm talking about a radar chart that we are going to discuss today. People also prefer to call it spider chart sometimes because the chart looks like a spider web. So that is what we are going to look at in this particular video. So this is the question that is on the screen. So as you can see, there is a setup that is only a 5-6 liner, which can be easily read within 1.5 to 2 minutes. And then the problem with this question is how to interpret this radar chart or how to interpret this spider chart is what took toll of a lot of students when it appeared in the paper. Let us discuss what kind of data will result in a representation like this in the first place. For that, I'll take you to an Excel sheet and also show what other things that could have been done with the same set of data. So what happened over here is 5 vendors are being considered for a service. The evaluation committee evaluated the vendors on 6 aspects. So there are 6 aspects: cost, customer service, features, quality, reach, and reliability. Each of these evaluations on a scale of 0 to 100 are done. Right, the evaluation on scores aspects are shown in the radar chart. So you can see that there are 6 aspects: reliability, reach, quality, features, customer service, and cost, as mentioned in the setup above. Also, they have gone ahead and rated 5 vendors: vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3, vendor 4, and vendor 5. Each of the vendors is given a typical type of representation. For example, the first one is black colored dotted lines. The second one, the vendor 2, is gray colored dotted lines, which are a little bit more evenly spaced. Vendor 3 is a continuous black color line. Vendor 4 is a continuous gray color line. And vendor 5 is a dashed line with a larger distance between each of the dashes. That is what it is given, right? So before we get into interpreting this particular set, I would want to take you to an Excel sheet where I want to show you what all different types of representations could have happened with the same data. The reason I want to show you that is a lot of people looking at the data set, looking at the way it is represented in a radar chart or a spider chart, will get intimidated. And actually, there is nothing to be feared about this. So let me take you to my Excel sheet. So here I have created an Excel sheet similar to what is given in the question. So vendor 1, vendor 2, vendor 3, vendor 4, and vendor 5. I have rated them in 5 aspects like reliability, reach, 6 aspects: reliability, reach, quality, features, customer service, and cost. Just the 6 aspects as given in the question. I have input some random numbers. Here. For example, if you look at this particular block, the first block that is there, that is B2, is talking about vendor 1 score in reliability. I have given a random number 70. 40 is vendor 2 score in terms of reach is what I have given. That is, these are random numbers that I have generated and created a table. When it is a table like this, when the set is given in terms of a table like this, it becomes very easy for us to interpret because sab kuch aankhon ke samne hai. Everything is visible in front of us, and we can say that, okay, customer service, vendor 3 received 90 marks. Vendor 5 received 100 marks in cost optimization probably. Right? That is very easy to interpret. But when it is given in various different types of representation of data, it is where people start finding it difficult to interpret that kind of data. So let us select this data and see what all things we could have done with this. The same set of data, I could have created a clustered column chart like this. A clustered column chart like this that talks about reliability. All the 5 vendors, the ratings are given. This is a bar graph or a column chart. It is easy to read and easy to interpret. For the same data, I could have created a I could have created a bar chart like this probably, right? Only that the column is column wise and the bar chart is row wise. The same data is being represented row wise over here. If I enlarge the image, you can easily see that, okay, vendor one is the blue line. So vendor one in cost got all 100 points, right? Vendor two is the orange line. Vendor two in reliability got only 90 points. That is what the table says. I can select the same set of data and could have replaced this with some other chart. Let us say I want a line graph. I could have created a line graph like this. Where each of the vendors is given 5 different colors or 5 different ways in which, in the question, it was a dotted line, dashed line, or complete line, kind of inconsistent line, kind of things. So if you can look at this, vendor 4, who is yellowish in color, vendor 4 got 60% here, 60 marks here, 70 marks in reach, 60 marks in, again, quality, 40 marks in features, and things like that. It is easier to interpret when it is in the form of a bar graph or a column graph, or even when it is in the form of a line graph. The same set of data could have been selected, and you could have inserted what is called a radar chart for that. And bingo, this is the kind of chart that is there in the question. Essentially, if you look at the bar graph, if you look at the column graph or the line graph, re-engineering it will transform back to the same table. So our agenda, when we are solving this question, is just to understand, acha, ye hua hai. Once you understand that part, the next thing that you're supposed to do is form a table and go solve the questions. That is what essentially we are also going to see when we are going to look at this radar chart. So if you take a look at the questions that are there, question 1 says, on which aspect is the median score of the 5 vendors least? But that means I'll have to calculate the scores. I'll have to make a table and put the scores of each of the vendors in all the 6 aspects and see what has happened. A vendor's final score is the average of the 6 of all. Which vendor has the highest final score? If we want to find the highest average score, we will also, that is, if we are able to find the highest total score, that will suffice for us to find the highest average score anyway. So question 2, you will have to probably refer to the same data, same table again. Question 3 is asking, list all of the members who are among the top 2 scorers in the maximum number of aspects. Question 4, list all the vendors who are among the top 3 vendors on all the 6 aspects. So essentially, each of the questions is talking about the same tabular representation. Once you get that tabular representation out of this particular chart that is there, then you can go ahead and solve each of the questions. And to put that things into perspective, to put everything into that table, you'll hardly take 5 minutes. So the first 6-7 minutes, you would have formed the entire data into the form of a table. You could have segregated the entire data into the form of a table. And once that is done, solving each of these questions will take 1 more minute each per question probably. So 10 to 11 minutes, this question could have easily been done because there is no other logic kind of thing that is coming into it. Essentially, it is a calculation based set. And I think each and everyone should attempt a set like this, because if you get the calculation right, if you get the table right, there's no way you're getting the answers wrong. Sometimes in a logic based set, there can be a small minor twist at the end, which you may crack the set, but you may end up marking one odd wrong answer in the set, which is not the case with such kind of a set. And I think that is where this kind of a set becomes very, very simple, very, very easy, and a must do or a must attempt for anyone who is taking the paper. So let us take a look at the next step, that is interpreting the data. We have already seen whether or not to solve this question. My vote is to solve this question. But yeah, interpreting the data. It is given, the radar chart is also explained over here. For example, vendor 1 obtains a score of 52 on reliability. Where is vendor 1? Vendor 1 is this dotted lines. Let us find that. Reliability, vendor 1 is at this point. This is just in between 50 and 60. So vendor 1 obtained a score of 52. That is how you read this graph. Vendor 1 obtained a score of 52. All you need to do is, because there is a hexagon that is formed, for each of the vendors, you will be able to form a hexagon. Just write down those vertices. Write down the points or those vertices that you get of that hexagon. It may not be a regular hexagon, but put it into the table and you will be able to solve it. Vendor 2 obtains a score of 45 on features. Features, vendor 2 is gray dashed line. Features obtained a score of 42. Obtained a score of 42. This is the point that it is referring to. Vendor 3, black line, right? Obtains a score of 90 at cost. This is the point it is referring to. So essentially, that is how you interpret this set of data. So let us look at each of the things very, very carefully over here. Let me color code it. Let us begin with vendor 1. Vendor 1 is the smaller dashed line that is black in color. So let us mark the vertices of vendor 1. Here, we have one here, we have one here, we have one here, we have one here, and we have one here. These are the 6 red dots that I have put are the vertices of the black colored dotted line, right? Black colored dotted line. These are the 6 vertices. We know 52 on reliability. Vendor 1 is 52 on reliability. Reach. See, the outermost hexagon is representing 90. Second outermost is 80. That is where the vendor 1 is in reach. Vendor 1 gets a score of 80 over here. In quality, this is somewhere in between 70 and 80. Let us take approximately 71 or 72 kind of things, right? Very close to 70. If you look at features, vendor 1 got exactly 40 marks. How do I say that is 40? Remember, outermost is 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. This hexagon represents 40. This hexagon represents 40. So vendor 1 in features got 40. 90, 80, 70, 60, 60. So this is something like 55 that he must have got in customer service. Vendor 1 received 55 in customer service. Vendor 1 received 55 in customer service. And this is somewhere in cost. In cost, vendor 1, the red vertex over here in cost is coinciding with somewhere between 70 and 80, 75-ish, 76-ish. Let us take it to be 76. So vendor 1, we have been able to determine what are his scores in each of the parameters. Let us go to vendor 2. Vendor 2 is a gray colored dashed line. Right? So let us use some other color for vendor 2. Cost, his vertex is over here. Reliability, it is here. Reach, it is here. Quality, it is here. Features, it is here. And for customer service, it is here. So let us put down each of the points here. Reliability, let's start with that. It is roughly 40. Reliability is 40. Here it is between 40, 50 and 60. So let us take 55, 56-ish, right? This is just below 70. So let us take 68 or 69 kind of a value over here, right? Here it is exactly in between. This is 90, 80, 70, 60, 50. This is between 40 and 50. Let us take a value of 45 over here for features. In customer service, the green dot is 10, 20, 30, 40, just close to 40. Let us take a value of 42-ish. Let us take a value that is 42. And at cost, it is just about touching 80 or just above 80. So let us take a value of 81. Just above 81. So 80, that is 81 that I have taken for vendor 2. So we have been able to put vendor 2 also into perspective. Similarly, let us put all the vendors into perspective. Vendor 3 is a black line, dark black line. This is the easiest one to plot. Because it is also easier to find where the dark black line is. Should not be an issue at all. Should not be an issue at all. So reliability, he is between 70 and 80. Let us give him a value of 76. Closer to 80 it is, right? Vendor 3 in reach is between 60 and 70. Closer to 60. Let us give a value of 63. Again, similar in quality, parallel line. So let us give him a value of 63 again over here. Exactly in between 50 and 60, he is here. Exactly in between 50 and 60, vendor 3, let us give a value of 55. When it comes to customer service, he is on the first, second, third, fourth, fifth line, that is 50. And when it comes to cost, we already know his score was 90. When it comes to cost, his score was 90. All right. So we are done with vendor 3 as well. We are left with two more vendors. Let us put them into perspective as well. Vendor 4 is a gray line that is consistent. So let us mark vendor 4, vendor 4, vendor 4, vendor 4, vendor 4, and vendor 4. So let us start with reliability again. 10, 20, between 20 and 30. Let us give him 24 marks, 26 marks, whatever. 10, 20, 30, 40, exactly in between 40 and 50, 45 is his points in reach. Almost exactly 40 here in quality, 90 in features, 70 in customer service, and probably even 70 at cost is what vendor 4 has done. That is how vendor 4 has fared, right? So for vendor 4, we have gone ahead and put all of these values. Now also let us take a look at vendor 5. Let us take a look at vendor 5. Let me use some other different color. Let us take violet for this. Vendor 5 is the larger dashed lines. Over here, violet color is what I am trying to find out. Okay, so in reliability, it is very close to 90, 80, 70, 60. So I'll give it 61 marks probably in reliability, or 60 marks, or it is almost overlapping, right? In reach, it is 70. This is the point. In quality, it is just below. In quality, it is just below 50. Let us say it is 48, 49-ish. In features, it is between 70 and 80. Let us give him a value that is 75. In customer service, 10, 20, it is between 20 and 30, close to 30. Let us give him a value of 28, 29-ish. And in cost, it is 50. Cost is 50. So that is what we have been able to determine. We have been able to determine the exact values or almost approximate values that each of these 5 vendors factors, all the 6 factors, that is reliability, reach, quality, features, customer service, and cost. Now let's take a look at the questions and try to solve it. So what does the first question say? On which of the aspects is the median score of the 5 vendors the least? Which aspect has the lowest median score? Now that I have the table, lowest median score, which aspect has it? So the median score of reliability is middle value when you write all the numbers in ascending order or descending order. 26, 40, 52 is going to be the median score here. Reach, the median score, smallest is 45, then we have 56. Definitely it is going to be somewhere around 63. That is the median score of reach. For quality, the median score again 40, 48, 63-ish. For features, the median score 40, 45, 55 is the median score. Customer service 42, 50, 55 again is the median score. Cost, the median score is going to be 50, 70, 76 is the median score. That is the middle value when you write all these numbers in ascending or descending order. So in middle value, you find that the least median score is obtained in reliability of 52. So least median score of 52 is obtained in reliability. So the answer to this will be option 3, reliability. A vendor's final score, question 2. A vendor's final score is average of the scores of all the 6 aspects. We only have to find what is the total. What is the total of each of the vendors? Each of the vendors, what is the total? Whoever has the highest total, whoever has the highest total will have the highest average. So let's take a look at the totals. The total of vendor 1, the total score of vendor 1, 50 plus 80, 130 plus 70, 200, 240, 290 plus 70 is 360, 360 plus 6 plus 5 plus 2 plus 2 is 300 and this is 375. 375. Let us look at vendor 2. Vendor 2 has an overall score of 40 plus 50, 90 plus 60, 150 plus 40 is 190 plus 40 is 230 plus 80 is 310. 310 plus 6 plus 9 is 15, 225, 230, 238. Sorry, 338. Let us take a look at vendor 3. Vendor 3 is going to be 70 plus 60, 130 plus 60, 190 plus 50 plus 50, 290 plus 90, 380 plus another 17 plus another 17. That is 397. By far the highest is vendor 3. Vendor 4 is 20 plus 40 plus 40 plus 90 plus 70 plus 90 plus 70 plus 70 is going to be this is 140 plus 90, 230 plus 40 is 270 plus another 70, 341. And vendor 5, 60 plus 70, 130 plus 40, 130 plus 50 is 180 plus 75. 180 plus 70 is 250 plus 30 is 280 plus 50 is 330. So 326 is what vendor 5's maximum score is, total score is. So in that sense, we can find already that vendor 3 has the highest total score. Whoever has the highest total score will automatically have the highest average score. So vendor 3 is going to be the guy. Question 3. List all the vendors who are among the top 2 scorers in the maximum number of aspects. In the maximum number of aspects, who are the top 2 scorers? Who are the top 2 scorers? In reliability, the top 2 scorers. In reliability, the top 2 scorers are 76 and 60. That is vendor 3 and vendor 5. All right. Who are among the top 2 scorers in maximum number of aspects? Okay, vendor 3 and vendor 5 in reliability. In reach, you can see it is 80 and 70. That is vendor 1 and vendor 5. 1 and 5. In quality, you can see it is 72 and 69. That is vendor 1 and vendor 2. In features, the highest 2 scores, 90 and 75. That is vendor 4 and vendor 5. In customer service, the highest 2 scores belong to vendor 1 and vendor 4. 1 and 4. And in costs, the highest 2 scores belong to vendor 3 and vendor 2. Vendor 2 and vendor 3. Vendor 2 and vendor 3 is the highest 2 scores in cost. So if you look at who among these, list of all the members who are among the top 2 scorers in the maximum number of aspects. Maximum number of aspects. If you look at vendor 5, he is there once, twice, thrice. 5 is there thrice. Also 1 is there thrice. 4 is there only twice. 3 is there only twice and 2 is there only twice. So 5 is there thrice and 1 is also there thrice. So 5 is among the top 2 for 3 of the aspects and 1 is also among the top 2 in 3 of the aspects. That is the list. Vendor 1 and vendor 5, both of them for 3 of the aspects are among the top 2 scorers for the maximum number of aspects. Look at question 4. List of all the vendors who are among the top 3. Good part, we already have the top 2. We already have the top 2 for each of them. Let us find who is the third guy. Who are among the top 3? Who are among the top 3 in all the 6 aspects? We want one guy or 2 people who are among the top 3 in all the 6 aspects. All the 6 aspects. We already have the list of top 2 in each of the 6 aspects. We only have to find the third guy over here. Reliability. Reliability, the third guy over here is vendor 1. Reach, the third guy over here is 80 and 70 gone. The next is 63, vendor 3. Quality. Quality, we already have 69 and 72 over here, 63, that is vendor 3. Again, features, again it is going to be vendor 3 who fares in top 3. Customer service, again it is going to be 70, 55, the third is 50, and vendor 3 is in top 3. Cost, vendor 3 is already there in top 3. The third guy 90, 81, the third guy is 76, that is vendor 1. Who among them is in the top 3 in all the 6 aspects? You can see that is customer, that is vendor 3, vendor 3, vendor 3, vendor 3, vendor 3, vendor 3 in all the 6 aspects. In all the 6 aspects, vendor 3 is among the top 3. So the question 4, the answer is option 1. So this is a kind of set that you could have done. Had you spent that 5 minutes time to form that table, 5 to 6 minutes of time to form that table, and then each of the questions, solving each of the questions would not have taken more than 1 or 2 minutes. Roughly 10 to 12 minutes is the time that you could have taken to solve all the questions in this particular set. If you like the content of this video, please like the video, and any other content that you would want us to do, any other kind of different sites that you would want us to do, whatever your feedback is, please leave it in the comment section, and also share it with your friends, whoever is preparing for CAT. This may be just helpful for all of them. Thank you.